Hello everyone, welcome to your afternoon form. There's a silent starter activity on the board. 3 questions that I'd like you to write an answer down to. Question 1. I am an odd number. If you take away one letter, I become even. What number am I? Question 2. What belongs to you, but other people use it more than you? Question 3. Give me food, and I will live. Give me water, and I will die. What am I? Your form tutor will pause the video now. You must think in silence, write down your answers, and we will resume in 3 minutes. So, how did you get on? Question 1. I am an odd number. Take away one letter and I become even. What number am I? I am the number 7, because if you remove the S, you have the word even. I know it's pretty bad, right? Question 2. What belongs to you, but other people use it more than you? Well, of course, it's your name. And then question 3. Give me food and I will live, but give me water and I will die. What am I? Of course, I am a fire. In this afternoon form time, you're going to spend some time reviewing your attendance since we began on March the 8th after our second lockdown. You're going to understand the impacts of low attendance on achievement, and we're going to set some targets for ourselves for the remaining 6.5 weeks. Some keywords for us: attendance, impact, outcome, targets, ready, and pride, being all keywords that we can use when we talk about attendance. I would like you to look around the room now and see if you can spot students who always make excuses. Excuses are often used with the word but. But I didn't mean to. But somebody else did something. But it wasn't my fault. But I didn't know about it. Those people who use the word but are looking for excuses. And I like this poem here about excuses. Excuses are monuments of nothingness. They build bridges to nowhere. Those who use these tools of incompetence seldom become anything but nothing at all. Excuses. I hate excuses. They build bridges to nowhere. They are tools of the incompetent. Remember that when you hear somebody use the word but. Excuses cannot be used to explain why your attendance might be low. We take responsibility for our attendance, and we certainly do not want to build bridges to nowhere. I thought it would be interesting to use a couple of examples here to identify whose fault is it. Jane wakes up and has a headache. She decides to tell her mum that she does not want to go to school, so she stays at home. Jane stays at home. Whose fault is this? I'd want you to pause the video now. Form tutors can have a discussion. Whose fault is it that Jane is staying at home? Here's another example. Billy's been playing computer games all night and went to bed at 12. He's tired and tells his dad that he is sick. Dad tells him, though, he needs to go to school. Billy refuses to go. Whose fault is this? If you want to pause the video now and discuss it for 2 minutes. Whose fault is this? Do you know anybody who does this? It is clear that Billy needs to go to school. He does not need his dad to tell him to go to school. Billy is taking it on himself to not go. But if he stayed up all night and was playing computer games and is tired, that's his fault. He will suffer the consequences. Billy needs to go to school. It's not his dad's fault that he stayed up and played computer games. Billy needs to take responsibility for his own future, and that means coming to school. One of the things I want you to do is to take a long, hard look at who? Well, often it's at ourselves. This quote here is really important. Those who say never look back have not captured their own darkness. The mirror is often the door to destiny. What does that mean? The last sentence gives it away. The mirror is often the door to destiny. If you look in the mirror and you think things are okay, then what has happened in the past will simply repeat itself. When you look in the mirror, you should review your own actions and start to wonder whether the mirror is lying to you, because we are our own worst enemies. Sometimes genuinely we are ill, and you need to save your sick days for those days where you genuinely are ill. Take a long, hard look at your decisions over the last year when it comes to attendance. If your attendance is low, could you have actually come in some of those days, or will you trying to pull a fast one over your parents? I want to remind all students that your target is 96%, but I don't think that's high enough. You should be in school every single day. We should aim for 100%. Sometimes we might be unwell. You might have an injury that prevents you from coming. But even then, it would be rare, and we want to target 100%. I want to give every single one of you £80,000. You might think, well, where are you going to get that £80,000 from, Mr. Walsh? Well, I'm not going to give you cash. I'm going to tell you that if your attendance is high, you will earn £80,000 more over your life simply because you pass your English and maths at GCSE. Your percentage chances of passing rise hugely if your attendance is greater than 96%. Imagine that. I've just offered you £80,000 in order to be in school. We're saving now for the future. That money will be in your pocket because when you're in school, you learn more, and when you learn more, you will earn more because you achieve more. I've just offered you the chance for £80,000. Tomorrow when you wake up with a small headache, will you come to school, or would you like to catch that money on fire? Your form tutor is about to give you a record of your attendance since March the 8th, the first day that we come back from lockdown. Form tutors, if you can pause the video now and hand out the attendance slip. I'm going to go over some of the information on that slip, and we'll start to talk about targets for this half term. If tutors, you can pause the video now. Okay, everybody, you've probably just received your slip and you've started to have a look at your attendance since March the 8th. Let's do the first bit together. We'll see if we can make sense of some of the stuff I've put on the slip. First of all, your name is at the top, followed by your form group. And then there are some percentages, but what do they mean? The first line there says you have been in school, and then it's got a percentage. That is the percentage that you have been in school since March the 8th. This student has an attendance of 94.9%. You'll remember our target of 96, so this student's not far away. The second line says you've been absent from school 5.1% of the time since March the 8th. Now, percentages don't mean much, so I've put the numbers of school days that you have been absent. So, for example, you can see that this student has been absent from school since March the 8th for 2.5 days, 2.5 days. They might have had a medical appointment and left school early or arrived school late, and that's how we got the half day. But the next number is important, the number of school lessons or hours missed. So this student has missed 2.5 days of learning, and you think, oh, it's only 2.5 days, but it's 12.5 hours of learning that has been lost. That is a lot, and I'd like you to reflect on yours. Is your attendance above 96? If it isn't, how many days have you missed since March the 8th? And how many hours have you missed of your learning? Because remember, you're never going to get those back. If you've learned a new topic in maths and you were absent for 3 days, it's going to be very hard for you to catch up. Right, what I want you to do now is to do the second part of this review. On the screen, you will see a sentence that says review of attendance since March the 8th. And what I want you to do is to read the sentence and then cross out or scribble out the term that does or doesn't apply. So, for example, this student that is doing the one I've just done, their attendance was 94.9. So my attendance is, and I'm going to scribble out the above because their attendance was below the school target of 96%. The second sentence says, my attendance is close or not close to the school target. Now, if you remember, this kid had a 95.9% attendance, so I'm going to scribble out the not close because this student's attendance is close to the school target. If you are 93% attendance, you're not close. 3% is too far away. Then what I want you to do is to scribble out the word for the third sentence about whether you're proud or not proud of your attendance. I think that this student probably could be relatively proud of their attendance at 94.9%. One more day and they would have had 96, so it's pretty close. And then what I want you to do is to spend a couple of minutes having a look at the reasons why your attendance was high or low. So, for example, my attendance has been, and this student has a high attendance, so we'd scribble out the low. Okay, anything above kind of 95 is quite good. My attendance has been high because of these reasons, and we write down some reasons. So I get out of bed, I'm well organized, I'm really prepared, I value school. We want you to write down some reasons why your attendance is good, but likewise why your attendance isn't good. You might write down some reasons like, sometimes I have a headache and I don't come to school. What excuses have you got? Now, I know some of you had legitimate broken legs in the last half term. That is a legitimate excuse. Having time off because you've got a broken arm is a legitimate excuse. But some excuses are not excuses, all right? So I'd like you to spend some time now writing down reasons why you think your attendance is high or why you think your attendance is low. You don't have to share these with the group. These are just for you, your form tutor, and me. Okay, we have 6 weeks and 3 days of school left. Okay, there's also an inset day included in that. So we're looking at roughly 29, 32 days of school left. Okay, and I want everybody to target 100% attendance. No time off. We are here all the way until July the 21st. This agreement then says I will get out of bed and come to school, as this is my priority each day. I will not take time off school unless for medical appointments or for other reasons that might be approved by the school. For example, an injury, okay, and you can't physically get to school. We would accept that as a valid reason. Everybody is targeting 100%. Our year group has the best attendance in the school by a long way, and it's because we want you in school. I want you to sign your slip and give it back to your tutor, who will sign it and give it back to me. 100% attendance is what we're after. In school every day. If you need support, come and see us. Attendance is like winning the lottery. £80,000 is coming your way if you turn up to school.